Hello. Review for your test on the Cold War. A couple things you need to know. Number one, the way the test is going to be broken down, it is divided up into three distinct sections. Section A is going to be 20 points. It's going to be short answer. These ones you just need to simply answer the question. Doing so is going to get you 2 points, okay? It does not need to be in full, complete sentences. Just answer the question. You are going to be good to go. The second section is going to be worth 28 points. This is going to be 4 points a piece per question. These are going to be paragraphs where you need to explain what happened and why that is significant. So you're going to be answering some questions right through there. The last section, Section C, is going to simply be an outline where you have to give me an argument, a point, okay, give me evidence to prove that, and then analysis. Why does that matter? Kind of think of like a PPAC right there. The P, and the A. Don't worry about the C. Doing that right there. So you're not going to actually write an essay. You're just going to write an outline as if you were writing an essay. Now, when it comes to content stuff that you need to know, number one, you need to know the different economic systems, okay? What is capitalism? What is communism, okay? Where do they have capitalism? Where do they have communism? The goal of capitalism, okay? Competition and making money. The goal of communism, equality, okay? So know the two different systems of the East and the West. Know the goal of NATO and why NATO was formed. Know the goal of the Warsaw Pact and why the Warsaw Pact was formed. Be able to talk about what happened in Berlin, okay? The Berlin crisis. Looking back at that section of notes, why was that significant? Why was that important? Looking at that, you need to be able to tell me what a proxy war is. Okay, so it's when two countries are fighting, but they're not directly firing at each other. So an example of this would be like Korean War, for example. The United States was fighting against the North Koreans, who were backed heavily by the Soviets. Vietnam, where we have the Americans fighting again, backed by against the Viet Cong, backed heavily by the communist in China, and then up in the USSR as well. And then Afghanistan, where you have the Soviets fighting against fighters backed by the Americans. Okay, so it's going to be a proxy war going on right there. Tell me what a proxy war is, and be able to relate it to some of those conflicts. You'll be good to go. Talking about the Cuban Missile Crisis, explain, one, what caused that crisis, what led up to that happening, why that's important, why it's significant, and then ultimately, what was the deal that was reached at the end of that crisis, okay, where the United States is going to secretly withdraw their missiles from Turkey, and the Cubans, or the Soviets, are going to publicly withdraw their missiles from Cuba. People to talk about that. Talk about the space race, why it happened, what the goal of that was, okay, for economic and intellectual superiority. Okay, whoever's got the best stuff to get to space first is going to be the one winning. Don't worry about all the individual things, Mercury program, the Gemini program, the Apollo program. Don't worry about that kind of stuff. Just know what the space race was and why that is significant to the Cold War. People talk about the Truman Doctrine, telling what it is and why it's important. Looking at the Marshall Plan, what it is, why it is important. Talking about the Iron Curtain that Churchill described, why Churchill is comparing this divide as an iron curtain, what it is and why that is going to be significant. Be able to talk about the arms race, what it is and why that is going to be significant as well. Be able to talk about Brezhnev and the Brezhnev Doctrine. Okay, what was the Brezhnev Doctrine? The Truman Doctrine, the United States is going to intervene whenever communism is threatening. The Brezhnev Doctrine, the United States or the Soviet Union is going to intervene whenever communism is threatened of falling. They're going to intervene and go right in there. And then also talk about the different factors that led to the fall of the USSR. Looking at that, kind of explain what happened, why that's important, and then be able to back that stuff up right through there. You should be good to go. If you have any questions or concerns, please get a hold of me. Otherwise, good luck. You're going to kill this test. Hang in there. You got this. Best of luck.